Hi, welcome to Triangle Spotlight. Suzanne Lynn here. Hope that you're having a great day. We're joined by Angel Tuccy. And Angel, I'm very excited about this. If you've listened to Triangle Spotlight, you know that I love marketing and branding and trying to get more customers, especially for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And Angel is the one we need to talk to right now. Angel, let's start off. Hello, first of all.
Hi, how are you?
I'm excited. I'm great. But I want to start off talking about some of the great people you've had a chance to interview.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Suzanne. Well, I love what you are doing for small businesses. Marketing and exposure for that small business entrepreneur is the heart of everything that I do. For over 10 years, I was the host of a business talk show broadcasting out of Denver, Colorado. We were on an AM station and got our start on the AM dial. But in that time frame, I interviewed over 5,000 guests in 2,000 different broadcasts. We were on for 4 hours a day. I was hosting a lot of talk radio. I was pretty active. But when you think about all the greats that entrepreneurs are following, the books that they're reading, Michael Gerber, Seth Godin, Sharon Lechter, I think pretty much everybody who had written a book to serve that small business community, we have had a chance to interview on our show. So when you hear me and I talk, it's like I have all these voices from all these great interviews and all these great books that I was able to read.
It's the sharks that just poured into you, right? Because they're about a batch that you got to interview.
Yes, yeah. Most of the sharks as they came through, we were pretty fortunate about that. Anytime they had something kind of fresh and new and that they were promoting, we were part of that circuit. If you're going to be a published author and you've published a book, you probably had your publicist to set up a radio tour for you. And if you were part of the radio tour during that time, you landed in our radio show.
Angel, a lot of people that are listening, it's AM radio, probably not a whole lot of millennials. So we're talking to, more established business owners, business managers, business decision makers, and they may be in the traditional mindset of advertising and marketing still with, newspaper ads and, yellow pages way back when. Can you talk about where we were and where we are now?
I think right now, if radio was starting now, it would be all the rage. When you think about how impactful social media has been, how impactful digital advertising and all this digital technology has been for connecting and creating access and reachability to be able to really geo-target our customers. If radio was created right now, I think it would be all the rage because it is so accessible. It is in your pocket. It's live, right? It's fresh new content all the time. It's, with podcasts, which, every kind of piece has their place.
Right.
When you think about radio, especially talk radio, the audience is more engaged because they're engaged to the conversation versus just having music on in the background. They're more engaged. You're right. They are typically that more established business. They've been around for a while, have some, little meat under their belts, right? They're active in their community. I think the people that are listening to talk radio, especially, they are far more active and involved in their community. They're far more active and involved in not necessarily politics, but just community issues.
Right.
So they are the perfect audience for you to be in front of. If you're advertising, if your voice is being shared on an AM radio show, it gives you a chance to connect more deeply with a targeted audience, an engaged audience. It is a very visual media because people are picturing what they're listening to. And because it's fresh new content every day, it keeps them coming back and it keeps them involved and engaged. Radio, it's still, even though I don't broadcast, I haven't been in broadcasting now for 2 years, it is still one of the number one things that I encourage small businesses. It's also the most affordable. If you're going to pay for advertising, radio is probably one of the most affordable for the bang for your buck that you're getting as far as exposure in front of the right people, an engaged audience, an ideal target audience, that fresh new content. I mean, I could go on and on about the value of radio.
I think the FM staff probably have a bigger crew to be able to market and have soldiers, out pounding the pavement and everything. I think AM sometimes gets overlooked because, there's not as big a staff, but you think about how many people you're able to reach. I mean, the signal alone, we're on Q right now, reaches, has potential of 500,000 people. Let's move into the new age of digital. How does digital play into what you feel marketing is today?
Well, it dovetails beautifully, right? Of course, the access, the fact that you've got tracking analytics, you can see exactly how many people have been to your website, how many downloads, how many eyeballs, right? You've got great analytics that you don't have with radio. We don't always have, in most cases, we have no idea, right? How many people. We know the reach, and the reach is pretty phenomenal, but we don't know. It's still private that you're listening in your car or home. And so digital gives us the analytics and the statistics that we're looking for. Also can give us a picture of the demographics, right? Of the people who are listening, so that we can create those targeted advertisements, the cookies, the pixels that can chase them around wherever they go online. So it's a nice, I think anytime you can do the mix for marketing, for exposure, for reach, for connection, the combination of the two is really ideal. And you really shouldn't have all your eggs in just one marketing basket.
It's like the stock market. Don't do that.
You need exposure, right? You need to be visible everywhere your customers' eyeballs are. And you need to have your ad on the grocery store cart, right? You need a billboard. You need to be on the bus sign. You need to be in their mailbox. You need to be in their computer. You need to be wherever they are is where you want to be, because if it's not you, it will be your competition. Right? And so they're looking at those things anyways. You might as well have your brand on it.
Well, we're recording this April of 2020. We're eyeball deep into COVID. How does that play into how people are marketing right now? Because I know as an online digital content creator, we're busier than ever. People want to have scroll stopping content. What would you say to people who say, no, you know what? Nobody's out, nobody's buying. I'm going to just pull back on my advertising and marketing.
Oh my goodness. You were right. I love that, because we've been using that phrase. How do you stop the scroll?
Yeah.
Right? Scroll stopping content, visuals, hooks. And more people are sitting on their devices right now all day long. They are so much more connected, and we have so much more access, right? We've got access to celebrities that are doing concerts in their kitchens, right? With concerts. I was able to watch an opera that the Metropolitan Opera House was streaming. And, of course, I sat on my couch in my sweats eating a pint of ice cream. So not exactly the same experience, but still, there's so much access. And really right now, I think that you have those business first responders who are in front of the wave. They're the ones creating content, creating access, they're pivoting, they're being innovative. And then you have the those that are worrying, wondering, and waiting, right? They're stepping back. And they're not participating. They don't, because it's not business as usual. It's never going to be business as usual. The nice thing about right now is every single one of us has to figure out how to pivot. Every single one of us has been impacted. There's never been a time on the planet that the entire globe, right? We've had 9/11, we've had different things in different countries, different crises in different states. There's never been a time on the entire planet that the entire globe hasn't been impacted. So rather than figuring out and worrying, I don't think so much in telling my clients, it's not so much about what you're doing right now, but it's who are you becoming, and who do you want to be during this pandemic? Do you want to be that resource? Do you want to be that light, that innovator, that leader? Because you have the opportunity to step into that, because it's a level playing field right now. Whether you are a big business, a small business, an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a side hustle, it is a level playing field right now. And we all have access to jump in and take advantage of it.
I love the way you said opportunity, because right now, the seeds we're planting, we're going to see what grows on the other side of this, whether it's positive or negative. And I mean, if there's 10 businesses in your area, 3 of them decide not to market, they pull the advertising, there's still need for those 10 businesses. Now those 7 are getting that business, and it's going to be a whole lot harder for those 3 to come back now. So this is the time to really dig in and create more brand awareness, be in front of those people, all the time, everywhere they go.
You do see, like, at a time of crisis, and even historically in our country right now, the the game changers are at their dining room table, at their kitchen table, creating the next new wave, right? The opportunity. But there will be those, right? We've seen it when anytime there was like a mortgage, issue or real estate issue.
Sure.
Like
It's fear.
Yeah. And those that are not hacks, like just kind of, hobbyists, right?
Oh.
They're not serious about it. They're going to get out because it's going to be hard, right? But those that have the systems, the teams, the support, that creativity, that innovation, and taking advantage of those opportunities, you're right. Those are the seeds that we're planting right now. And it might be like bamboo, right? We might not.
Right. It's right.
For a while, it might just feel like ugh. But eventually those shoots sprout up almost seemingly overnight. And that's all that hard work. It always pays off. It's never a waste. I always say marketing is never a waste. You never know who's in front of that, who's going to see that, how long they're sitting on that piece of information. But it's that consistency that'll keep you out on top.
Yeah, it's so important. It's easy to get scared and just say, I'm going to pull back, but this is not the time. I have such a heart for entrepreneurs and small businesses, and you just want to shout to them, listen, when you get momentum, I promise it will keep going. You've got to get that traction. Don't give up before you get that momentum, because it'll start to carry itself. I know it feels like a boulder that you're trying to move uphill right now, but what would you see is the biggest struggles for entrepreneurs as they're getting started?
I think that the thing that I have seen for entrepreneurs is that they're building their business one-to-one. I mean, they're out there building their business through one-on-one networking, one-on-one leads calls, strategy calls. Like, it's all one-to-one. In fact, I even saw somebody on social media saying, hey, let's have our coffee meetings, our one-to-one coffee meetings through Zoom. And instead of building your business one-to-one, you have to build it one-to-many, one-to-media. Getting a business, getting your brand out in front of fresh new faces, you need exposure. You cannot have enough one-on-one meetings. You cannot send enough private text messages and LinkedIn messages, and do strategy calls where you are being unpaid, right? You want to spend time with your buyers and automate and get exposure by building your business one-to-many. Radio, podcasts, TV interviews, having your articles in other people's magazines, press releases, anything that puts you in front of a fresh new audience. Because when you get the exposure of being on a fresh new audience on a regular basis, you have brand new eyeballs, right? Brand new energy that's pouring into your business. You can create a scalable business because you're not just hounding after the same people over and over again, right? We're sending emails to the same people we sent emails to that are already on our list. Right? Your social media posting to people who are already following you. That's engagement. Right? And engagement leads to customers. But without exposure, you're just on this hamster wheel. This is what keeps entrepreneurs the busiest broke people on the planet. Because we're busy, right? We're chasing after, we're doing all these activities. You have to build your business one-to-many. You need exposure. You need it on other people's platforms. Radio shows, podcasts, press releases, magazines, TV, and then use the tools that are available to you to automate your follow-up so that you are spending your quality time, your most precious commodity, which is your time, with your buyers and with your customers. Every day, work on exposure and work on revenue. Exposure and revenue and exposure. And with those two things, it'll keep you out of that rat race of just trying to build your business one person at a time.
Okay, we need some tips. How do you do that? You make it sound so easy. How do we get that exposure to many?
So, right, number one, you need to position yourself as a content expert, right? Adding value. What do you speak on? What are those questions that people are always wanting to pick your brain about, that they're always asking you? This is the thing that you do in your sleep that is keeping your leads and your customers up at night. So instead of wearing that sales hat, right, what am I an expert on? And so I have my clients create their expert title: client retention expert, income stream specialist, side hustle expert, right? So when somebody hears that title, they think that's something I need. Like I need a guide, right? Everybody's wandering around, in this jungle, right? Where do I go? What do I do? Their issue, the thing that you solve the most, they need a guide that's going to help us through that. So instead of, saying I sell this item, right? I'm a specialist of. So as you position yourself as that expert, right, what is your content or your specialty title? And when you are specialty title, now I can position myself as a guest. I can say, Suzanne, I'm a media specialist. I can offer tips to your audience. Right now I can become a guest. I can pitch myself to be a guest on somebody else's platform by offering these tips. So as a specialist in this space, number one, right, I'm a specialist in this space, and these are the 3 top things I help, right? I help, I teach, I empower, I inspire, right? I coach, right? What are those top things? And those top things are those results that your clients get when they work with you, right? The results that you give to people who are seeking you out. So this creates that word of mouth marketing. It gives you content for social media. It positions you to be a guest on other people's platforms. And it's a game changer as you position yourself out in this space. The second thing I would tell you is to leverage the power of press releases. These press releases are the media language, right? The media language of news. So much of what we do as small business owners, we open our business, we become a marketing partner with, we've hired somebody, we've implemented technology, we've aligned with a charity. Like every single one of those is an opportunity to create exposure and publicity and to leverage the power of a press release. It's a very powerful document that large companies use, celebrities use, nonprofits use. And entrepreneurs could be using them too. They just forget to,
or don't know how,
or don't know how.
Yeah,
they've never done it. But it is there's a great resource that I recommend for press releases called PR.com, and it's a free site. You can register and sign up your account for free. And it baby steps walks you through how to put together a press release. I'm not connected with them. I don't have an affiliate with them. They just, if you've never done a press release, you don't know how to get started, they baby step you through how to put out a press release and help you with distribution.
Angel, let's say that someone's listening, they're all set up, they've got their letterhead, they've got their business cards, they've got their structure all set up. When it comes to marketing, what are the first 3 things that you would do to start, to reach out?
So I'm a done is better than none kind of gal. It doesn't have to all be perfect. Your website doesn't have to be all set up. Your membership course, your product, it doesn't have to be finished to start to create exposure. The number one thing you need is what I call a squeeze page. You need a way that you can build your list, your email list, where people can follow you, that when they hear you, you send people to, instead of answering their question for them. How do I put together an advertising package, right? What are the top things I need to know before advertising? Rather than just answer that question, we've put together a step-by-step guide on everything you need to know to put together when it comes to advertising for small business. They go to your website to download that, give you their email address, and they go into your funnel. Now you can nurture that relationship. You can send them emails. You can add value to them, automating that system as much as possible so that when they are ready to buy advertising, they are ready, to knock over that domino, they're pre-qualified. So we need a squeeze page, right? And you need to give something of value, something juicy, right? Something that actually would be worth, you're bribing them, right, for their email address.
Right.
So that's the number one thing, right? Making sure everything matches. So your website URL matches your email URL, like everything is matchy, so that when you're being interviewed on radio and you're being interviewed on podcasts, you can just say, go here, right? Here's my simple little thing, versus I have a Gmail account, it's my name over here, my business over there, there's a the on it here, right? Making sure that everything in your name is matchy. So when you're being interviewed, you can say, just simply go here. And when people Google that and they look it up, it's easy to find. Right?
That's good stuff.
Right. So matchy, make sure you've got a squeeze page, and that you're getting people, that you understand the sales process. And that just because you build it does not mean they will come. You have to be out there marketing every single day and creating exposure. And I would pre-sell, sell it and figure out that you've got a client base before you invest time and the hundreds of thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours
Yeah.
in creating something, go out and start to beta test it and pre-sell it. See if people are even interested in it. Practice, your message out on social media before you pay to, get that radio spot, right? That
Mhm.
your message buttoned up. There's so much to being a small business owner that, don't do it alone. Hire a
Mm.
coach, right? Work with people that have done it before you. Because
Mhm.
we've all made the mistakes. We've all been on the busy hamster wheel. We've all put money into things and tried different things and come out the other side scarred, but
Mhm. Right.
right. So hire a coach, get a mentor, work with people that are steps ahead of exactly where you want to be. And don't do it alone.
I happen to know somebody that can do that. So it's just crazy that we're talking. And I mean, you are the one that can do that. Let's talk about your contact information and what services you're able to provide.
Well, thank you so much, Suzanne. I have been so blessed. I left radio 2 years ago. I've been traveling across the country teaching entrepreneurs the power of media, how to attract more leads, how to monetize, how to create exposure and revenue every single day.
Mm.
We have a complimentary guide I'd love to give to your audience. It's how to get started with media, how to create some guaranteed media exposure to create that consistency right out of the gate. You can grab that at makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com. We train entrepreneurs. We have a 90-day system that we train you how to position yourself, the documents that you need. We put together your entire media kit, your media strategy, your media contacts, your database, and all the foundational pieces to get the media to fall in love with you. And you can also find information about that at makeyourbigimpact.com.
Wow. You have a lot to offer. I think that's just amazing, Angel. I'm so glad that you could join us. And I hope that you'll come back maybe later this year and just kind of do a follow-up and post-COVID, how the marketplace is looking and what's trending and how things are going for you.
I would love to. I'd be delighted. Thank you.
Thanks, Angel. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for watching the show. We hope that you enjoyed it. Having digital marketing for your product or organization is so crucial these days. People are ditching traditional advertising like print and broadcast commercials and turning to relationship marketing platforms like YouTube and podcasts that people can consume on demand on their time. Let's talk about how we can build your digital library with segments just like this.